Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be going over every single New York Comic Con 2020 Funko exclusive. This is going to be a comprehensive video going through all of them and letting you know all of these shared store locations now that they've been officially revealed by Funko, and I'm going to give you my quick thoughts on all of the pops as well, let you know which ones I plan on picking up, and be sure to let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions, and also what figures do you plan on picking up. But for now, we're going to get straight into it here with the first store. Alright, so first up here we have the con exclusives here that are going to be available through the Funko Shop, but they're going to be very limited as well. And the first one that we have is from the Umbrella Academy, and that one is Young Ben. And I think this is a pretty nice looking figure. I feel like they have a great amount of detail on it as well, so it's nice that we're getting that included. And then the next one that we have is from Escape from New York, and this one is Snake right here. So a pretty cool figure as well. Neither of these are ones that I'm too interested in, but it is definitely interesting that they are available as show-only exclusives, even though there isn't really an actual convention physically going on, so it's definitely quite interesting. The next retailer that we have here is Amazon, and there are going to be 4 figures available from this retailer, and those include Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio. We're going to be getting the child from the Mandalorian, this version with the necklace. Then we're going to be getting Robin Sparkles, which I know is a pretty highly anticipated figure from How I Met Your Mother. And then we're going to be getting Fezzik, which will be a 6-inch pop from the Princess Bride. So all pretty great figures, none that I'm particularly interested in. I do really like the Robin Sparkles. It's probably my favorite out of those 4 just because it's such a cool character, and I really enjoyed that series, How I Met Your Mother, but overall some pretty cool pops. The next shared retailer that we have here is going to be Books A Million, and there's only going to be one pop that will be exclusively sold through here, and that is Ron at the World Cup, but I think it's a pretty great figure that would go really well with the previously released 3-pack of all of his siblings as well, so definitely a pretty cool figure. Next up here we've got the Barnes & Noble exclusives, which there are going to be 2 of, which will include the Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman 1984 riding the lightning. Then we're going to be getting the Venomized version of Magneto as well, who looks really amazing. I like both of these figures quite a bit. I think they have some really fantastic looking sculpts that just look so dynamic, so definitely I'm sure to be some highly desirable figures. Next up here we've got the Box Lunch shared exclusives, and the first one that we have is going to be from Marvel Zombies, and it will be Daredevil. Then we're going to be getting a Pop Deluxe from Disney Pixar's Up, and that will include of course Carl and Ellie, and I think that's a really great looking set right there. I think that that one's going to be one of the most highly anticipated figures, and one that I'm sure will sell out very quickly, judging from the previous year's 2-pack that sold very quickly as well. And then the last one that we'll be getting from Box Lunch is going to be a flocked version of Growlithe from Pokemon, and I think that that's a pretty good looking figure as well. It's cool that we're getting a flocked version because I would say it's superior to the common version, so overall 3 pretty good figures. Next up here we've got 2 Entertainment Earth exclusives right here, and these are going to include Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and I think these are 2 fantastic looking figures. It's a little disappointing that they're available exclusively through this retailer, because then I probably won't be able to get them from Canada, but unfortunately it seems that it's going to go that way, but still 2 really great looking pops. The next figure that we have here is going to be exclusively available through FYE, and this one is going to be Baker Stitch, and I think that this is a pretty cute looking pop. I'm honestly a little surprised it didn't wind up being a Hot Topic exclusive, but still a pretty good looking figure and a nice sculpt. The next shared retailer that we have here is actually going to be the one receiving the second highest amount of exclusives in the US, and this one is going to be GameStop here. And the first one that we have is going to be a Pop Tea bundle from Cowboy Bebop, including a new pop of Ein right here, who is going to be a flocked version as well. And I think the t-shirt has a pretty cool looking design also. Then we're going to be getting a Beetlejuice pop here with the Handbook of Recently Deceased, and this one's going to be a glow-in-the-dark variant as well. Then we're going to be getting a Wolfman version of Bart for the Treehouse of Horror line from The Simpsons, of course, and then we're going to be getting a Naruto pop as well of Kaguya, and sorry if I mispronounced her name because I'm not familiar with the character. Then we're going to be getting a 10-inch version of Beastman right here, which is a really nice looking figure. I like how they changed up the sculpt from the standard 4-inch version of of the Pops, so that's really nice as well. And then we're going to be getting an art series collection here, or street art series collection version of Miles Morales right here, which is definitely a really unique looking Pop design for sure. And overall, those are all of the GameStop exclusives. Next up here, we've got Hot Topic, which is probably the location that I'm most excited for, and this one's going to account for the US and Canada as well. They don't include it on the Canadian page of exclusives, but that's because it's just the same store location. And for this one, we're going to be receiving a Nightwing Pop. We're going to be getting Mr. Compress from My Hero Academia, which is definitely the Pop that I am most excited to hopefully get my hands on, potentially if I'm able to go to Hot Topic, because I know those My Hero exclusives sell out very quickly. Then we're going to be getting a Simpsons Pop here with Comic Book Guy, who definitely has a really cool looking design, and I think they made him really accurate as well. And then we're going to be getting the Red Goblin right here from Marvel Comics, of course, and this is a really awesome looking figure as well. I think it might have one of the best sculpts that I've seen thus far from this convention, and it just looks fantastic. And then we're going to be getting one from Jinjito, and this one's going to be Soichi right here, and I actually just recently watched the first episode of this series, and it's definitely a really creepy one, and this figure represents that really well. So overall, a pretty nice lineup of Pops for Hot Topic. Next up here, we have 3 Target exclusives that are going to be available, and the first one that we have is going to be a flocked version of Angry Pikachu right here. So it's definitely cool that we're getting an opportunity to get another flocked version of Pikachu, considering the previous one was available through a GameStop/EB Games exclusive box, so now we'll be able to get one individually on its own, but still it's a little bit of a repeat, I would say, just because we get so many different versions of Pikachu, but I understand it as well because he's basically, of course, Pokemon's mascot. Then we have Danny Phantom here also, which is definitely one of the most highly anticipated figures because it's from a brand new line that Funko is doing, and hopefully they choose to extend this line for a common wave as well, where we can get other characters from the series such as Sam and Tucker. I think that would just be amazing. So a great figure overall. And then the next one that we have is from G.I. Joe, and this one is Beachhead right here. And this one's a fine looking Pop. It's nothing too amazing or anything that I'm too excited over, but I would definitely say Danny Phantom is one of the ones that I'm most excited for. Next up here, we've got the Toy Tokyo exclusives, which are going to include 2 Funko Pops here from Masters of the Universe, and those are going to be Ninjor and King Hiss as well. 2 really great looking figures. I think they have some really nice and unique designs also. And then they're going to be receiving 2 Funko Sodas as well. One of them also from Masters of the Universe with Spycore, and then one of them from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World for MV Adams. And I think that both of those Funko Sodas look pretty cool. I don't collect them personally, and I don't even have access to really purchase anything from Toy Tokyo because I'm in Canada, but I still think they have some pretty nice looking exclusives. The second last retailer that we have to go over here for the US is Walmart, and this one has 2 exclusives coming to it. One from The Office here with Dwight Schrute in his Recyclops uniform here as the final version. I think that it looks really cool. Definitely an awesome looking outfit there. Really unique for sure, and a cool sort of variant for Dwight. And then we're going to be getting a Fortnite Pop here with the Bash skin, and I think that this one's pretty good looking also. For Fortnite fans, I'm sure they're going to really want to pick that one up. So those are both of the Walmart exclusives. Nothing that I'm too interested in, but let me know if you plan on picking either of them up. Now the final retailer that we have here for the US, and keep in mind I will be going over all of the Canadian shared retailers as well after this, but for the Funko Shop here, this is the one with the largest amount of Pops. No surprise there, because of course it is Funko Shop, and the first one that we have here is going to be the Breast Cancer Awareness Joker Pop. I think this one's a really great figure to be doing for NYCC. I know they have a whole line of these Pops coming out as well, so it's really great that they're doing this for an awesome cause as well. Then the next one that we have here is going to be a Pop Town, and this one's going to include Molly Weasley and the Burrow, and I think that this is a great looking Pop Town. It might be one of the largest ones for sure, especially in height. I think it just looks massive, and the figure looks great as well. Then we're going to be getting a McDonald's ad icon, and that one's going to be Captain Crook, which is a pretty good looking figure. I would say a nice design on that one. And then we're going to be getting a Dum Dums ad icon as well of the Drum Man, and I think that that's a pretty nice looking figure also. also. I don't collect the ad icons personally, but I still think those two look pretty cool. And then we're going to be getting Polly Pigeon and the Pizza Rat as well, which are also going to have variants also in a Pop Tea bundle as well, which is going to be very limited also. So two really great looking figures there, and the variants look great as well with just some color swaps going on also. Then we're going to be getting Dixie and Pixie from Hanna-Barbera, which are two really good looking figures also. Nothing too amazing for me personally, but I'm sure for fans of Hanna-Barbera, they're going to want to pick those two up. And then we're going to be getting two really surprising figures, I would have to say, from the Rise of Skywalker, which are going to be the training versions of Luke and Leia, which are going to come as a pop bundle, but they're going to be packaged individually in their own Funko boxes, which is nice as well, because I'm not really a huge fan of like when they do 2-packs or 4-packs or 5-packs, however many they do in a combined box. I prefer when they all get their individual boxes for their own artwork as well. It just looks much nicer when I display them on a shelf, but still a really cool idea here, and I think that it's pretty great. And then we're going to be getting two Funko Sodas. One of them will be Freddy Funko, which is going to be limited to 2,000 pieces, and then we're going to be getting a Funko Soda for She-Ra, which is going to be limited to 3,000 pieces. So overall, some really cool exclusives for Funko Shop that I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to pick up. Next up here we have the Canadian shared retailers, and keep in mind I'm not going to be going over Hot Topic or GameStop again because they are going to be the same as the Hot Topic locations in Canada, and then also the EB Games locations in Canada as well. They're going to have the same shared exclusives, so we already went over all of those figures, so I'm not going to retread old ground. But the first new retailer that we have here is going to be Noir, and this one's going to be getting that Dwight Schrute pop, so I'm sure a lot of Canadian collectors are going to be happy that we're going to have the opportunity to hopefully pick up that pop. Now, I'm not honestly too familiar with this retailer, so I don't know where you're going to be able to pick it up, whether it's like an online retailer or an in-store retailer. I honestly do not know that information, so let me know down below if you know any information about that. And then we're going to be getting an Indigo exclusive, which will be the Books A Million one from the US, which is Ron at the World Cup, and I think that that's a pretty nice looking figure as well. As I'd said earlier, it's not something that I'm going to go after personally, but it still looks pretty fantastic. Now the final shared retailer that we have here for Canada is going to be Toys R Us, and honestly it's a little disappointing. I'm going to let you know my complaints at the end of it here, but first off we'll go over the exclusives that we are going to be receiving, and those are going to include from G.I. Joe, we're going to be getting Beachhead, then we're going to be getting Wonder Woman as well, riding the Lightning, which is definitely a great pop to be getting shared to Canada. Then we're going to be getting the Venomized version of Magneto, Baker Stitch from Lilo and Stitch of course, and then we're going to be getting King Hiss and Ninjor, which are pretty cool to be getting over here in Canada, considering they're Toy Tokyo exclusives over in the US, so that is definitely really cool as well. But I was really disappointed that we aren't going to be getting the other two Target exclusives over here, not so much so the Flocked Pikachu, but definitely the Danny Phantom Pop. Considering we're getting Beachhead, who was also shared at Target in the US, it's kind of weird that we're not getting the other two shared exclusives. That kind of leads me to believe that maybe those two pops are going to be a bit more limited than the Beachhead might be, so I'm honestly not too sure and couldn't really say what my sort of theories are about that, but it's still a little bit odd and definitely a bit disappointing as well, but still some pretty cool figures that are coming to Canada. Alright, so that's going to conclude my shared retailers and comprehensive video here for all of the New York Comic Con exclusives that are going to be coming for 2020. Now keep in mind that NYCC is going to be starting on October 8th and it's going to be running until October 11th as well, so there's quite a few pops here that I'm sure a lot of you are going to want to pick up. Be sure to let me know your wish list down below. For me personally, one that I would definitely like to try to get my hands on is definitely Mr. Compress from My Hero Academia, just to kind of extend my League of Villains line. And then there's a few others that I would maybe consider. I would love to get that Danny Phantom Pop because I'm a huge fan of that series, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be available over here in Canada. It's honestly quite surprising that we don't also have any shared retailer exclusives for Sunrise Records, considering we tend to get those quite often over here in Canada, so who knows, there could be some surprise ones the Funko's maybe not telling us about, but still at the moment it seems a bit disappointing. But overall, some really great exclusives just overall from the con. I think it's a pretty good year for NYCC. Be sure to let me know all the pops that you want to pick up, and thanks so much for checking out this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to stay up to date with all future Funko news. I also cover Lego as well, and do reaction videos, also haul videos as well. So there's quite a bit of content on the channel for everyone, so be sure to check it out. I would really appreciate that, and if you want to stick around, be sure to subscribe as well. It's highly appreciated, and also leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. But I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.